Why do so many course creators end up spending way more money on choosing a platform than they expected? After 10 plus years helping businesses and creators build and launch courses, I've seen how easy it is to get sucked into tools and software that look affordable at first, but become way more expensive once you start adding everything your business actually needs. So in this video, I want to break down the hidden costs behind course platforms, the trade-offs between all-in-one versus separate tools, and how to think about pricing in a way that actually supports your business long-term. Because what starts as a simple monthly subscription can quickly turn into a much bigger ecosystem of tools, integrations, and ongoing costs. I've seen creators jump into platforms like Kajabi, Thinkific, Teachable, or even System.io because the pricing and the all-in-one promise sounds great up front, only to realize later they still needed email marketing, funnels, automations, better website tools, community tools, and the list goes on. And so suddenly what looked like a monthly subscription turns into much bigger costs. There are more tools, more subscriptions, and more things to learn, and it gets more and more complex. And it's not just money. It's really about learning a new tool. It's about workflow friction, and it's really, in the end, about your time. And if you want help planning and building your course content, I've put together a free AI course creation starter guide that walks you through this process step by step, including the platforms I recommend and the prompts to help you get started. I'll put a link to that in the description below, and you can also scan the QR code up here as well. Because the more tools you stack together, the more moving parts you now have to manage. One other hidden cost people don't talk about enough is the user experience of actually learning and working inside a new platform. Because let's face it, every tool is similar, because every tool may tout its own simple plug and play, but the reality of actually getting into the software, learning the ins and outs, has its own learning curve. And if the platform feels unintuitive and or frustrating to you, that can slow you down more than most people realize. I've seen creators who spend weeks trying to figure out a setup instead of actually creating content or validating their course or growing their business. And many people get stuck in this cycle where they spend so much time researching and switching platforms that they never fully commit long enough to build momentum. They keep hopping from one tool to the next trying to find the perfect setup. And that friction adds up, especially when you're already overwhelmed trying to launch something new. And that is why the best platform is one that matches how your brain connects with the software's design. Because while the ads may say Kajabi or Teachable is simple resonates differently with each person. And honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to the marketing of these tools. Every platform promises to be easier, faster, simpler, and cheaper. And the expectation that you can just start signing up and suddenly have an online business overnight is much more of a myth than it is a reality. And when you're excited to launch your course, it is really easy to sign up and buy into a subscription based on your potential goals instead of your current reality. A lot of creators end up choosing tools for their business based on the long term rather than where they are now. And that is where people often overshoot. They get into advanced setups, they get sucked into a deal where they can sign up for 1 year of a platform at a fraction of a cost. So rather than asking yourself which platform is cheapest, it's more helpful to ask, what does your business stack actually need right now? Because your course platform is usually just one part of a much bigger ecosystem. Here are things that you may need to think about when evaluating your setup. A website, a domain, hosting, course platform or LMS, email marketing software, funnels and landing pages, payment processing, community tools, and the list continues. There's much more that gets added on as your business grows. And that is why comparing platforms based only on the monthly price can actually be misleading. Because the real cost of a platform isn't just what you pay monthly, it's how much time, complexity, and friction that it adds to your workflow. If this kind of breakdown is helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe so that you can be notified of more videos like this that I am building to help you grow and expand your course business rather than just learning how to master tools. So, all-in-one platforms. When you hear about Kajabi and our System.io, you hear they have all-in-one suite. They provide you course hosting, they do your email marketing, they are your landing page, they are your funnel. They are your one platform for all your needs. They serve as your all-in-one business need, not just for hosting courses, but it runs the entire business. And for some creators, that is incredibly valuable. It simplifies your workflows, you have fewer tools to manage, and everything is centralized. So even though the upfront cost is higher, you may see that as saving money over time rather than needing additional software. However, there are trade-offs because when everything is tied into one ecosystem, you're also more dependent on that one system. So if one area doesn't work the way you need it to, whether that's email marketing or automations or funnels, it can affect other parts of your business. And that's where creators eventually realize they want more flexibility with their website design, analytics, and much more, which is why they may end up considering a more flexible tool such as a SaaS type builder software. And so that's where I'm going to go into talking about SaaS builder platforms. Like Thinkific and Teachable are really great because they're flexible. They allow you to pair it with WordPress and Squarespace or other website hosting. They give you access to integrations with Zapier to connect your email marketing to your course list, and it gives you more control and flexibility over your entire business. Now, there is a trade-off because now you're adding on more tools and more subscriptions and making them talk to each other and work together. While the builders may appear cheaper initially, the total cost over time will increase because now you are adding on email marketing, you're adding on maybe community, or maybe you want to go with a very customized website hosting and blogging. And so it really becomes a matter of preference. Personally, for me, I continue using builders like Thinkific because even though there is a monthly cost to Thinkific, I like that it gives me room to grow. As my business evolves, the higher tier plans unlock more features that support that growth. So better integrations, better student management, more advanced analytics that help support my business. And for me personally, I host my website and lead magnet on Thinkific as I continue evolving and expanding my business model because I like the flexibility, I like the ease of use and simplicity of it. And I don't just look at my monthly price. I evaluate my decision based on the flexibility, the ease of use, onboarding support, and scalability, and whether I can trust the platform to continue to work with me and support me in evolving my business long term. What I also appreciate about Thinkific is that they have a strong and robust and active Facebook community where users can help each other along with a large library of tutorials, including ones on my own channel, which helps lower the learning curve when you're just getting started. And honestly, if you're just getting started, the most important thing is to get that quick win and to get those sales rather than trying to go for the most bells and whistles software. You want a setup that helps you launch quickly, test your idea, supports your students, supports your business, and helps you to build momentum. And that is why I personally recommend, based on experience, that beginners go with something flexible and lean so that early on they can grow with the platform and validate their offer and see what works before they go heavy into one platform. At some point, you will need help managing emails, automations, funnels, customer support, and all your systems, regardless of which platform you choose, because the tools don't run themselves. Someone still has to manage the business behind the scenes, and you want to be able to hire an individual to help you run your operation so that you can focus on the growth and products of your business. A final question, instead of asking what platform costs less, I think a better question is, what am I actually paying for? Because sometimes paying more upfront sounds great, but it can come with a lot of headaches, and you want to be able to reduce the friction to get started and focus on scaling your business. The goal isn't to find the perfect platform. It's to find the setup that helps you build momentum, supports your workflow, and fits the stage of business that you're actually in. So before you choose a platform, ask yourself, what stage is my business in? What tools do I realistically need right now? Do I value simplicity or flexibility? And what setup will actually help me move faster? Because once you answer those questions, choosing the right platform becomes a whole lot clearer. And if you are curious and want to try Thinkific, I do have an affiliate link below where you can try it out for 1 month for free. I've been a Thinkific expert for about 10 years and I think it's a solid option. And if this video convinced you to try a builder-like tool like Thinkific, then make sure you check out my playlist up here on beginning your course creation journey on Thinkific. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.